Dean Veloso, Dean Stabile, Nida, faculty, staff, parents, partners, alumni, mom and dad, of course, and most importantly, and I might be biased here, the greatest class INSEAD has yet seen, the class of 24D. Welcome to your graduation. Thank you all for being here today. It's great to see all of you dressed up and looking sharp. Big difference from the grad trip, I must say. Well done. My name is Natalie Tleel, for those that I have not had the pleasure to meet. Originally, I am Palestinian Jordanian, but at INSEAD, I have come to terms to accept the fact that I'm considered Lebanese. Shout out to the amazing Lebanese crowd who have kindly adopted me as one of their own. I owe a big chunk of my time here to you. Oh, and speaking of, extra special thanks to our dear friend Richard for making it on time to graduation, away from his 100 social events. Thank you. Before we begin, just a kind disclaimer to the graduates. I've asked and checked, but unfortunately there is no QR code for you to scan and leave. You're gonna have to sit through the rest of today's graduation. But I promise I'll try to keep it as light and as engaging as possible, so please, humor me for the next 15 minutes as we walk down this year's memory lane and look ahead to our futures. When I found out that I'd be giving this speech, I was filled with so many mixed emotions. Proud to be the first Jordanian to stand here on stage, overwhelmed by how much I wanted to cover in such a short amount of time, conscious that I have to balance between my unfiltered jokes and the fact that this is forever going to be on YouTube, but more importantly, humbled to have run beside such amazing candidates. For those who knew me prior to INSEAD, knew that I did not believe in an MBA. I thought it was a waste of time, money, and had no value. Thought, don't worry, we're all good now. I would say network, what network? I can build that at work or I can make that through friends. But I've never been more wrong in my life, and I have been wrong many, many times. The people that we've met and the relationships that we've built here at INSEAD are truly unique and irreplaceable. With classmates from over 75 countries, we've been brought together in one small village or city, forging connections that might have never happened otherwise. I came to INSEAD with 4 main KPIs: to travel as much as possible, to broaden my academic scope, to make lifelong friendships, and to be invited to an Indian wedding. Let's just say, I do accept last-minute invites. In all honesty, I'm leaving here feeling like a new and a better version of myself, and that's because of you. Being around such a diverse mix of personalities, stories, and life lessons has taught me so much more than I could have ever imagined. To be honest, some lessons I would have been okay without, but for the most part, it has been a collection of moments I will forever hold on to. So thank you for letting me into your lives and for all the real, unfiltered experiences you've shared. I'm filled with immense gratitude. If I may, just a quick shout out here. To my amazing section E9, thank you. Yeah. Thank you for making this experience more special than I would have ever imagined. To my study group, Milan, Carlos, Marico, and Pierre-Louis, I appreciate you all. Could not have asked for a better group to kickstart INSEAD with. And Pierre-Louis, you promised you'll be watching this. Keep shining. You are doing a fantastic job. We are all so proud of you. And do not forget us when you're a billionaire, please. And finally, and most importantly, to my rock and lifelong support system, a special thanks to my family for everything you have done and for making it all the way here. Today, we celebrate many victories. INSEAD is now, for the first time ever, ranked as the #1 European business school, jumping 17 spots since last year. It is also ranked as the #2 best MBA program worldwide. It has also achieved a remarkable top 10 ranking in ESG and net zero teaching. So if you're wondering why you had to keep returning back those coffee mugs, yeah, that's why. With such high ranking, all of you should be so proud of your academic achievements. This is such a huge feat. For that, let's take a moment to applaud ourselves for surviving the infamous core courses. Price and markets, not yet. Price and markets, remember that? We walked in with high hopes, but we left more confused than when we started. Corporate policy and finance. Well, let's just say the only thing more difficult than this course was finding the willpower to show up to our 8:30 a.m. classes. Not fun. It's crazy to think that in those first few days, we were all just faces in a crowd, fumbling through introductions and asking the same questions over and over again. Where are you from? And what did you do before INSEAD? We'd nod politely, hoping we'd remember each other's names the next time we passed by in the hall. Little by little, as we navigated the chaos of new schedules, tried to balance nap and gym time between classes, and powered through case studies on nothing but caffeine, those initial polite nods turned into genuine smiles, then laughter, and finally, a deep camaraderie. We've gone from being strangers to being some of the closest friends you could imagine. We've shared the late nights, the tough days, the small victories, and failures, building bonds that go far beyond the walls of our campus. We came here to learn, but we are leaving with friendships and memories that will stay with us for life. More specifically, let's not forget the numerous chateau parties that we've had. I'm just gonna go for a little bit, Meccano nights. The infamous Fonty weekend hikes. Victoire's wine cellar parties. I mean, who knew that partying next to washing machines would be so much fun? To waiting in line at C'est la Vie for that one Instagram post. To the wild, yet for some reason, blurred memory of Soju Sundays. And finally, and for the love of God, what is Tardeo? I don't get it. So many moments to remember. After today, you will scatter to your full-time roles, either in private equity, in venture capital, in startups, in industry, in consulting, where you get the chance of achieving your lifelong dream of making slides and aligning boxes for the rest of your life. So I urge you to make the most out of the remaining days we have together. Let's also take a moment to appreciate the faculty who have guided us, the support staff who have kept things running smoothly, and our families, partners, and friends who have supported us throughout this journey. Your unwavering support has been our rock. And to the local cafes that fueled our caffeine addiction, thank you for keeping us alive and awake. Speaking of cafes, I had one section dedicated to Zeki and his genius business model, but given the time, I'll just skip this and instead propose that INSEAD develop a case study on this. I mean, from Freddy's to Fleury parties and other things, this man can do it all. But before we celebrate our achievements, it's important to take a moment to reflect on the world we are stepping into. A world facing unprecedented challenges. Political instability continues to displace millions. The climate crisis is accelerating at an alarming pace. The job market is seemingly more difficult and challenging than ever, and deep inequality continues to persist across every corner of the globe. These are not just headlines. These are urgent realities that demand our attention and action. As INSEAD graduates, we are uniquely positioned to make a difference. With access to world-class education, a global network, and a privilege to choose our own paths, we are not just provided with an opportunity, but with a responsibility. The responsibility to create solutions, amplify voices that are unheard, and shape a more equitable and sustainable future. Don't get me wrong, this is not an easy task. It requires courage to challenge the status quo, creativity to rethink what's possible, and compassion to lead with humanity. Whether it's building businesses that prioritize sustainability, pushing for policies that aim for social impact, or even making small, meaningful change within our own circles, we have the tools to rise to these challenges. As we leave here today, let's not lose sight of what truly matters. Our success is not measured by flashy titles, but by the positive change we bring to the world. Let us dream boldly, not just for ourselves, but for the millions who don't have access to the same opportunities. Let us act decisively, not just for profit, but for the planet and its people. Class of 24D, we have the knowledge, the network, and the privilege to lead. Now it's up to us to ensure that our leadership leaves the world better than when we found it. This year has left a meaningful mark on my life. A positive one, I assure you. From the late night cramming sessions, to the house dinners, to karaoke nights, and endless travels, every experience has shaped us. So in summary, to wrap it up, what I'm trying to tell you is, this year has and is going to be the highlight of our lives. To be honest, I think it's all going downhill from here. So yalla, Adrian, Stephanie, and Isabel Abu Khalil, no pressure, but we are all counting on you to plan one more epic Insayat trip next year. We got this. So here's to us, the class of 24D. We've laughed, we've cried, and we've survived MSD. Now, we step into the world armed with our Insayat experiences, ready to make our mark. Thank you for this incredible, truly incredible honor, and for entrusting me to be your class speaker. Remember that today is not a goodbye, it's a see you later. Tahiyyati, as we say, and see you soon. Thank you.
Thank you, Natalie, for bringing the experience to life for everyone who joined us today and to celebrate your graduation.